Well, good morning. How are you guys doing? I'm so glad to be with you this morning. My name is Ryan Hill, Coach Ryan, and I am here today in a field of grass and flowers. And this is really strange to be coming at you through video. Usually we'd like to be in person, getting to talk about Jesus and open the Bible together. But it's kind of a strange time right now, isn't it? These are some weird times, crazy, and maybe even a little unnerving. Maybe they even make you worry a little bit. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is what God says in the Bible about worrying. And to do that, what I want to do is connect a few dots. All right? So what I'm going to do today is talk about eyeballs. I'm going to talk about galaxies. I'm going to talk about the birds you hear behind me and the flowers around me. First of all, let's just start with the eyeball. Have you guys ever thought about the eyeball? It's a pretty amazing thing. It's pretty complex, and it's a miracle that God was able to create it. I say that because did you know that in one eyeball, human eyeball, there are over 125 million little rods and cones, things that send messages to your brain about what you're seeing and help you understand what you're seeing. Over 120 million rods and cones in one human eyeball. And we got two of them. And what's crazy is every single second, those rods and cones work together to send a billion, with a B, a billion messages to our brain. Every second they send a billion messages to our brain, and if they're off and they're not working together and some are working and some aren't, the whole thing breaks down. That's how God created it. And only God could have created something that amazing, and He did. The Bible tells us that. Now let me shift gears to galaxies. You know, we're here on Earth, and a lot of us live in Grapevine or the DFW area, and when you get to thinking about it, DFW is a pretty big area. Like, it would take us a long time to walk around the DFW area. And then if you back up a little bit and say, man, DFW is just this small little part of the Earth. The Earth is ginormous. We couldn't walk around it if we tried. It is so big. And then if you think about it, when compared to the sun, it's really not that big. As a matter of fact, you can get 1.3 million Earths to fit inside of the sun. Then what's crazy, I'm about to blow your mind here. What's crazy is the sun is actually an average sized star compared to other stars. In fact, more than half of the stars that we know exist are bigger than the sun. Just to give you a feel for how big God is, because He created it all, the sun could fit into the largest star that we've ever figured out, which is called UY Scuti, 3.7 billion times. 3.7 billion times. The largest star that we know is 3.7 billion times bigger than that giant thing in the sky that keeps us warm. That is incredible. And let me take it one step further. If I haven't already blown your minds, just think that giant star that's 3.7 billion times bigger than the sun is just one tiny star in a galaxy. And there's not just one galaxy. God created millions, if not billions, of galaxies. Take a look at this picture. Every little sparkling thing you see in this picture is an individual galaxy that has millions and billions of stars, maybe the size of UY Scuti. Unbelievable. And God created all that. The Bible tells us that. God created everything. And He created us. And I want to read this verse to you. This is in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verses 25 through 34. It says this. This is Jesus talking. The letters are red. That tells us that Jesus is talking if you're following along in your Bible. From the red letters it says, "For this reason I say to you, do not be worried about your life, as to what you will eat or what you will drink, nor for your body as to what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, that they do not sow, nor reap, nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not worth much more than they? And who of you, being worried, can add a single hour to his life? And why are you worried about clothing? Observe how the lilies of the field grow. They do not toil, nor do they spin. Yet I say to you that not even Solomon in all of his glory clothed himself like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, will he not much more clothe you? You of little faith, with an exclamation mark. Do not worry then, saying, what will we eat? What will we drink? Or what will we wear for clothing? For the Gentiles eagerly seek all these things. For your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will care for itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So Jesus actually points out the flowers, kind of like the ones around me here, and says, man, God, who can create galaxies and stars that are 3.7 times bigger than the sun, cares about the flowers. He cares about this little flower right here and this little guy right here, these little guys back here. He cares about them. He takes care of them, and then guess what? They come up every year. And God says, if I take care of them, how much more am I going to take care of you? Then Jesus goes on to say, also look at the birds. And the birds fly around, and they've got awesome feathers, and they can do sweet dive bombs. They can pick fish out of the sea. He says, I take care of them too. And how much more important is somebody who I created in my own image to me and to my plan than a bird? And if I'm going to take care of a bird, you can bet I'm going to take care of you. And you don't need to worry about it, is what he says in essence in Matthew 6, 25 through 34. So he takes care of the bird, he takes care of the flowers, he takes care of the birds above us. He's a God that can create galaxies, ginormous galaxies, millions of galaxies. And he's a God that pays so much attention to the detail that he can make a human eye work, even though 130 million parts have to work together perfectly at the same time to send a billion messages to your brain for it to work. And it's the same God who sent his son to die because he loves us so much. He sent his son to die in a perfect plan as a sacrifice for our sin, so that when we trust in him, we can be rescued from our sin and get to be with him forever. That's the same God. And it's the same God who inspired the words of Jesus in Matthew 6, 25 through 34, who said, don't worry, I'm taking care of the birds, I got the flowers back, and I've got your back. In times of trouble, when things are concerning to you, when you're not sure what tomorrow holds, when you're not sure if your dad's going to have a job next week, or you're going to be able to go back to school and see your friends, or whether you're even going to get sick, the Bible tells us, don't worry. You can rest easy because God has a big plan. It's perfect. It involves us, and it's all under his control. It's all going to work out the way he wants it to. We can just rest easy in that. We can trust in God that he loves us, he cares for us, he's going to take care of our needs. Isn't that great? That's such good news this morning. I was so excited to share that good news with you in a time when it's easy to kind of get distracted by all the crazy things that might make us worry around us. It's great news that I wanted to share with you that we don't have to worry. Well, I hope you guys have a great week. It's been fun getting to spend time with you, even if it's kind of from a distance. I look forward to the next time when we get to open the Bible together in person. See you guys soon.